This podcast is distributed for general informational and educational purposes only and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, accounting, or investment advice. The information, opinions, and views contained herein are our own and may be subject to change at any time without prior notice. All investment strategies and investment involve risk of loss. Any reference in investment, past, or potential performance is not and should not be construed as a recommendation or as a guarantee of any specific outcome or profit. Hey everybody, welcome to Venue Ventures. This is Nate Harper. I got Michael here, Michael Hill, the guy that knows everything about crypto, Mr. Boomer Coin. He just told me he's going to talk about some Boomer Coins, which I know you're all excited about.
One Boomer Coin.
Only one?
Yeah.
Impossible. Well, I mean, it rolls with what I want to talk about because Boomer Coins, Coinbase is, their IPO is coming out next week. So Boomer Coin, might as well look at it. Let's check it out. But first, let's just look at the price. I just want to see what we're looking at and what we're trying to do. I think what BTC is doing here is just kind of keeps pushing us sideways. But we have this beautiful.
Looks like a bull flag to me.
Oh my gosh, it's like this thing's so tremendous right here, just moving in this range.
Yeah. Boom.
And this is on the weekly, so you figure, we get kind of. I don't imagine us moving much higher here in the next couple days, and then kind of more sideways in the weekend. And then I think next week we start to see it push up, and that Coinbase listing is going to be insane. I don't know if you saw the numbers.
I think you posted some of them on.
Yeah, so
Discord, right?
Here's a couple. So their active users on Coinbase jumped from 2.8 million in the fourth quarter of 2020 to 6.1 million in the first quarter of 2021. So in a quarter, they almost tripled. So 2.5 times their actual, or 2.3 times whatever their fourth quarter. That's their users. Obviously, if Bitcoin goes up, obviously their holdings go up, that kind of stuff. Whatever. But their amount of users, 2.5 times, 2.3 times. It's crazy.
That's what we've been talking about it for years. Is like mass adoption, right? What are the triggers that you look for when people are actually using BTC as a store of wealth or a store of value? That's right there.
Yeah, for sure.
3 months and you got an extra 3.3 million people using Coinbase.
Well, and I think the other thing that we look at is Coinbase has been a lot of the institutions that we believe are purchasing and bringing them off. So what we've seen in this quarter alone is a ton of large Bitcoin transactions. The most recent one I saw was like 12,000 Bitcoin.
Wow. Being
transferred off into a previously unknown wallet, or a wallet that's brand new that hasn't had any like transactions or anything done on it.
Wasn't me, I can tell you that.
You probably wouldn't be sitting here. We'd probably sit in Hawaii if that was you.
Somewhere, yeah.
Maybe
right.
Puerto Rico, so the taxes are less, but either way. So there's a ton of those coming in. And, I think we see this next week coming up with the Coinbase listing. We see Bitcoin get pushed up. Maybe it goes earlier, pushing into the hype going into the Coinbase listing, which would be nice. It's fine.
I would expect for it to be before the listing, that it starts to really get some action on that for sure.
The other thing,
partly because everybody who knows what's going to happen is going to try
front run
be
it
a week ahead of
trying to front run it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already trying to front run it.
I'm long Bitcoin right now for some margin trades, but I think the big thing that I want to see is I don't want to see it just rip to 100K. I know that sounds dumb, but I think that just overextends everything.
I agree.
Get us into, we'll kind of, the 60s will go pretty quickly, and then get into the 70s, and then we'll see another kind of consolidation.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be as long, and then we get up into the 100K, and hopefully, again, we get some consolidation. We got to move through. We got to keep getting these consolidations so we can hit my 300K mark for the year. So,
wow. If that happens, dude, we're all moving to Hawaii. But no, I totally agree with you. I think that anything that is big, hard, and fast is scary to
That's what she said.
A lot of people, and so the consolidation will be deeper. If the harder it goes, the deeper the consolidation will be. But I think the global expectation is that. This thing's going to 100K this year. And then does it hit your 300K by the end of the year? Possibly.
Maybe. There's
enough,
a bunch of different.
There's enough economic. That's the thing, is like, it's not just Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't just it doesn't live on its own. It lives in an ecosphere that is the global economy, and the global economy has got a lot of challenges right now.
Right.
And Bitcoin is beginning to become the safe haven, and for lots and lots of reasons. I talked to it. It's interesting. You look at the adoption rate at Coinbase. I was down in Palm Springs, and I was talking to a bunch of, 70-year-olds, and every single one of them wanted to ask me about Bitcoin.
That's what you're saying.
They were out there. I need to get in. I want to get in. How do I get in? How do I get on here?
Yeah.
Who do I talk to? Where do I move my things from? And so I think, that sea change has happened. It's already happened.
Yeah, and we have a mutual friend that is a financial advisor, Mike.
Yep.
Move that a little bit closer, and he don't kill yourself though.
Yeah, try not to.
You can adjust the little knobs on the side.
That's about as close as I can comfortably have it.
He gets people every day, and
Right.
he's in a position, being an RIA, that he can't. He's much more limited in how he can invest into Bitcoin, right? And what the different platforms are there. So you have some of your over-counter stuff and that kind of thing, but it's got to be coming. I mean, if GBTC turns into an ETF that just opens it up to all those guys, which is huge. I mean, most of them can already invest into GBTC. It's just new still. And the one thing
isn't it Morgan Stanley also have a product that they're bringing out? And, who's the other one?
Well, you got BlackRock's now trading through, I think it's, what was the one? ICE or something along those lines, and basically owned by the New York Stock Exchange.
Right.
So they're doing the futures trading on there. JP Morgan.
JP Morgan, that was the one I was trying to think of.
Obviously, you have Fidelity. They have their Fidelity digital assets. It's just not available in every state, and they're huge. I mean, they're all getting into it. The next thing I think we got the Coinbase listing coming up, and soon after that, we're going to start seeing, I have Apple pulled up here, we're going to start seeing earnings reports coming in, right? And this is the one where they waited to the last earnings report, which was in January, and then they were accumulating all throughout from January until, whenever, and now they're going to report it on their earnings reports for that next quarter. So we're going to see a lot of these companies come out with that with Bitcoin on their books,
in their earnings.
Yeah. So and at that point, it's like, oh, now Apple has it. Now Walmart has it. Now,
Tesla. You can buy a Tesla in Bitcoin.
You can buy a Tesla in Bitcoin, which is interesting. It brings me to the PayPal deal.
Yep.
PayPal, they're opening it up to where you can pay now with your Bitcoin.
Yep.
Or they have BTC, ETH, Bitcoin Cash, and I think.
Yeah, did they add XRP in there? Because XRP
it might be.
It took it sat there for $1 for a day, I think.
Yeah, and all the XRP guys are super happy. They're like, I told you so.
It was always going to be $1.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
I think, and so when you look at PayPal and being able to do that, I for one, I don't keep a lot in cash. I just try to keep it invested in something and then pull out what I need on a monthly basis for my expenses.
Yeah, I still have a salary, so I use that salary.
Well, I consider mine a salary. It's a monthly salary.
It's a monthly salary.
I give myself a salary.
Yeah.
I literally say, it doesn't matter how much I make. I've already set it out for the year what my monthly salary is going to be. So I've already said, okay, it's going to be here. And so if I make 10 times that in this year, okay, well, next year will be a little bit better. So it's kind of a discipline thing for me I'm trying to do, and trying to, get myself so I'm not just overly geeky crazy with stuff that's going on, and with BTC going up, hey, great, it helps out.
Yeah.
Where was it going? Oh yeah, the PayPal stuff. So I've always talked about it, of wanting to just have it all in some sort of crypto in the sense of things, and then because regardless if I'm gonna have it in crypto, I'm gonna spend it somewhere. I'm gonna either pull it out and put it into cash to buy it, or if I can use it through PayPal, it works out nice. We're not there yet. Plus, I still think we're going to see so much volatility. If we get up to a certain zone, I'm going to be pulling some out and putting it into a little bit more stable stuff. I'm not going to be holding through. That's just.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to when you say stable stuff, and you and I we talked about this last time. I think it may have been off the recording, but how stable is the US dollar in realistic terms? it's a comparable stability, right? If Bitcoin is moving within a zone,
Yeah.
and the US dollar, which is pegged against international currencies and Bitcoin, but realistically, that inflationary pressure that's on the US dollar
Right.
doesn't necessarily lend itself to being a stable currency at this point. I think the next couple of years we're going to see a lot of that inflationary pressure really impacting the US dollar. And so, is the safe bet Bitcoin? I say yes.
Yes.
I say yes.
Short answer, yes.
Almost, unequivocally, the safe answer is Bitcoin.
No, I fully agree with that because ultimately, and there's other safe haven assets that are going to be out there too, not just Bitcoin. I think the stock exchange, obviously, we see it ripping up. I think, real estate with interest rates being incredibly low. I think that's what we're going to see a difference in how things move when it changes.
But that actually, those two things are tied. Real estate, for example, is how you would hedge US dollars value.
Yeah.
Put it into real estate and ride the inflationary accumulation up on it, and then you get more dollars for your asset.
Right.
But those dollars are technically worth less.
They're worth less, but they're also illiquid. I mean, you have this house that's worth $500,000, right? You buy it for $500, it goes up to $750 in a few years.
So you can borrow against it.
You can borrow against it, which is great. That's nice, but you then owe on that, right? You then owe whatever interest rate that is to that, and you can't get that money out of the house unless you sell it. The market goes down, you still owe whatever you borrowed against it. It makes it a little bit more difficult, and those interest rates are going to be the one that's going to really run this whole thing. And I don't think anytime soon we see the Feds doing anything with those interest rates that are going to really mess with stuff because they can't. I mean, how are they going to pay their?
Right.
They have to keep printing money to be able to do it.
Exactly. They just got to keep printing money, and every time they do, you're putting inflationary pressure on the US dollar. So
yeah,
or deflationary.
I think it's going to be a moving game. I really am excited about DeFi. I'm excited about the different aspects of being able to stake some of your crypto to be able to earn interest on that, and it's higher yields.
I'm getting 5% on my ETH in the Abra.
Oh, nice.
Now.
Yeah,
it's interest-bearing ETH in Abra.
I've been messing around with Pancake Swap that we talked about last time. So I have Cake. So I'm just pooling Cake right now for 100% APY.
I got out of Cake.
Did you?
I don't know why. I got out. Maybe I have like 10
Look,
or something.
if there's one thing I can say to not do, don't get out of any exchange tokens.
Right. Well, it's kind of on topic, but you got the Coinbase thing, and then Exodus is the other one. They have an initial offering, which I think is going live today.
Is it today?
They sent me an email yesterday saying that they were anticipating getting their approval this morning, and then it would be live within 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
So at some point today, and I'm registered to pick up some of that initial stake.
That'll be interesting. I don't know what else they do, the Exodus wallet. I mean, outside of being a wallet, I know there's somewhat of an exchange.
They have an exchange on there now as well.
It's a very limited exchange, though.
It is, and it's not available in the state of New York, apparently.
Nothing's available in the state of New York. I always thought Oregon was bad, but man, state of New York, whew, they're tough.
So there you go. Look, see, it's 27.42 per share. Exodus public offering.
Let's see here.
So you actually you do it by buying the exit token. Interesting. I'm going to do that this afternoon because I like what they do. I think they've got a really.
Well, I use the Exodus wallet. I mean, that's one of my main wallets I use.
It's been around for a long, long time.
Yeah, it's really great. And I've noticed that before. I haven't signed up for it. My whole thesis is trying to be a little bit more focused on what I want to have as my core holdings, right? I don't want to have 500 or 100 altcoins and 100 stocks, that are out there. I want to have like 5 to 10 that are my core and maybe a few others that are out there both on the stock side and on the crypto side. I'm a little bit thin on the crypto side, only because this last month I had some really good runners and basically sold half and let the other half kind of run, and then rolled them into some other different ones. So I think once we see this next Bitcoin altcoin kind of shakeout type of situation, I'm going to narrow them down again. I'm really, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Binance, and how they work, but I mean, when you look at BNB, you look at Cake. I mean, you can't go wrong with these exchange tokens. I mean, BNB, they're hitting all-time highs again.
I get that, and I think that there's an internal QA in my head when I look at Cake and Uni, and it has to do with just the UI and the delivery of what they're actually offering. The cutesy graphic part. It just seems like it's dumbing it all down for no real reason. It doesn't need to be like that. And there is another exchange token which I picked up, which was...
Tell me it was FTT.
It was not FTT.
See, I want to get some FTT, but...
it's Neox, man. I love
Neox.
Altonio. Altonio is an exchange token, which is a bit more...
Well, you were running the BitTrue exchange token, too. Wasn't it BTR?
Oh, BTR, yeah. BTR's having a good day today, actually. And I think that they've got some stuff. The other one I've got is, and I picked up that DRGN, which is a boomer coin. It's been around for a long, long time.
What is it?
Dragon.
Oh, I think you said ARGN,
no,
DRGN. Yeah.
Dragonchain. Apparently, they just integrated Dragonchain into the BTC exchange, and the BTC exchange is they actually use the Dragonchain for BTC transaction transparency. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not surprised there, because I knew a lot of the guys back in 2017 that were like investors of like early investors in the Dragonchain that were like bag holders for the longest time waiting for it to list on an exchange. Probably have a gajillion Dragonchain, and they were also one of the first ones to be like these promoters of Bexy or Bexy, whatever it is. So it doesn't surprise me that those have kind of married up in that sense of things. I like Bexy. I think I have some. When I first signed up for it, I got like 50 Bexy, but I haven't signed on to their exchange for, I don't know, a year and a half.
It's quite sick. I like it. I mean...
I have too many exchanges, man. It's just like coins. Like, I can't have so many...
I think that's half the fun, obviously, there's a serious side to investing in cryptocurrencies, but there's also... The fun from 2017 and 18 was, where can I get this coin? How can I get there before it gets on any kind of major exchange? Because I really want to have... a bag of it before it.
I mean, if you look at BTR, this looks actually, I kind of like this this pattern. We got some higher lows going through here. A little bit of resistance at the 48.74. Like once we get through that, I think it rips back up again, and that's an easy, 2.5 times there to get back to all-time highs.
Interesting.
I might have to pull some in. I actually pulled everything off of BitTrue.
I have a little stack of Gala left on that, and all my Yuan chain is on BitTrue.
Oh.
I shouldn't tell people where I keep my stuff, but
I mean it's crypto. I mean they can find it some way or somehow if they really wanted to.
Neo is also having a great day.
Neo.
I said I was only going to mention one boomer coin, and it wasn't either of those.
Well, somebody was talking about Neo. Jonesy. Yeah, so he got a Neo. He's big on Neo. I was like, well, why'd you get into Neo? We kind of just talked about crypto a little bit, kind of, what is it that you got there? And he's like, I don't know why. I heard a couple things here and there, and so we kind of chatted about the whole. It's always, like you said, it's always fun to have a couple little bags that are just hanging out, that are there and could turn into something big at some point in time down the road. But it's also one of those things that if you're serious and you have other coins that you're invested in, you have to have a conviction in it if you want to put a lot into it.
Correct.
Don't put a lot into a coin because XYZ on Twitter said this is the next Bitcoin or whatever it is, and it's like, ooh, he's got 10 million followers, I'm going to put it on there. Right. Great, you might get a pump and dump.
Well, yeah, and it's DYOR, right? Do your own research. Is this a project that makes sense? Is this a project that has the potential to add something to the blockchain environment? Is there a functionality there or is it just a project that's trying to capitalize on blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Those are the ones to steer clear of. But then there are also the ones where you might want to throw a couple $100 in. Grab a few and
exactly
let them sit there and see what happens.
See what happens. I mean, we talk about Gala all the time only because we kind of
know we love Gala.
We love Gala, but we also know some people in Gala.
We do
that are major parts of that whole ecosystem there. So, I mean, this chart looks pretty. But
definitely had a little action in the last couple of days. Nothing seems to be sticking with it though.
I mean, it's like when you 10x it, 20x it from this time frame, it's like you got to have some consolidation. There's got to be some people that are going to take some profits. There's got to be, there's so much stuff that's going on there. Again, that's why I don't want BTC to rip roar, right?
Right.
This is the first leg. If this was a 20x here, right, and we get all this consolidation, and you start to see the volume pick back up again. I mean, they've got announcements all the time, and they got stuff that I know they're just sitting on.
Journal, so that's a pretty big deal.
They're on the Wall Street Journal. That's pretty sweet. And I know they're sitting on some. You talk to Mike, and you sit there, and how many mics did we talk about? There's
many.
You. We literally everybody's a mic.
I played golf with 3 Michaels the other day.
Oh, you know where I played golf? When I was in Hawaii. Kapalua.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm not a golfer.
I was going to say, there's a golf ball on the desk here.
That's
the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, so my brother-in-law, he's a big golfer, and it's one of his dream courses, and so we were all over there together, and he got us all. Let's go do this one. I'm like, okay. I didn't know anything about it because I'm that kind of golfer.
Right. I played golf.
I'm a social golfer,
so I know. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, let's go do it. And you go in there, and it's like, oh, this is a big course. They've got it's a champions course. They've got all their, the big golfers got their lockers in there, and it's a beautiful course. I mean, it was a good time. I actually played one of my best rounds of golf too.
Right.
Shot 100, and that was my first time playing golf in no less than 2 years. No joke.
Did you get the bug back? Because I live on a golf course, and you should come play golf with me.
Actually, I'm in. I'm also looking to become a member of Ilahi, so
very nice.
We can golf there too.
I love it. I golf at Ilahi frequently. I love Ilahi.
Yeah, Ilahi's a fun one.
I played Eagle Valley South in Palm Springs when I was down there.
Nice.
Beautiful. We're way off track, by the way.
We are. That's okay, though.
Golf coin.
Golf coin.
Yeah. Check out golf coin.
Speaking of coins, we should make a Venue Ventures coin or a crypto Kaizen coin. One of two. We should and just kind of issue them out, and kind of do something fun with it. It'd be just an experiment.
I did pull an ETH node on AWS a couple of months ago, so nice. I can build that and run it on the ETH ecosystem.
That's really cool.
Yeah. If I get some time, which I have some capacity coming up here in the future because I'm not going away anywhere. I'll look at that.
Speaking of nodes, I'm looking to run a Bitcoin node.
Oh, wow.
But I want to run a Bitcoin node it's going to be hard to do.
Entirely solar?
And off-grid, essentially through, I can't think of the name of them. I have a bunch of them. I used them for hunting. So ultimately, it's a little radio signal that you can, it just ties, it's a mesh network, basically, and it ties to those little radio signals. And they have like a 1 mile to 2 mile radius, depending on the line of sight and stuff like that. But I was going to set a couple nodes up, set them up on solar power, all waterproof box, that kind of stuff, in a couple different areas around town here that I have available, and be able to kind of potentially tie in and run to it. So I need to talk to somebody that's really smart because I'm dumb, but somebody that's really smart to be able to set that up, because I think it would be pretty sweet to be able to have that opportunity, because it's again.
There's a guy over at the 45th Parallel building. He's a miner. He might be a good contact. I can get his name.
Let's check it out.
Yeah,
be a fun experiment. Let's get back to other.
Let's get back to coins.
All right,
because that's what I like to talk about. Dragonchain.
Yeah, Dragonchain's a good one. I really like it. I think I mentioned it in a Discord a while back.
You did. That's why I bought it. And then they had that BTC integration news this morning. I think this coin is suddenly. I think this project is suddenly getting some of the traction that it promised 3 years ago, and it is actually functionally relevant. And I think their big thing is transparency, right?
Well, they've always been upfront. They've never overpromised, underdelivered. The actual Dragonchain economy. Now, everybody else that's tied to it that had a bag, that's a different story.
Yes.
But then themselves, they've always been, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is what we're working on. So I like them as a coin fundamentally as well. I mean, look at this volume down here. This volume pickup. This is what really kind of tied me in. This huge volume
precedes price.
Yeah, volume precedes price. Rolls up this way. I was looking, this first move up to the conversion line up on the top here, and then potentially getting into the cloud itself and get your edge to edge trade.
Mm-hmm.
And you see how large this freaking cloud is. I mean, that's only because this thing's been around for a while, and it literally came out. You had a few weeks of, because everybody's super excited, and then it just dumped forever. And then this consolidation for, a year and a half almost.
The one thing I would say, you say dumped forever, and that's actually very interesting looking at this coin, because it is a very consistent dump. It's slow and long. I think people still believed in Dragonchain many, many, many months after like the full collapse in 2018. I think there was still a lot of hope that was a decent project. And look, there's a little blip there in 2020.
Yeah. This was that mini alt season last year. It was a fun one. A lot of stuff, kind of ripping through, and then this next consolidation after that. This will be a fun one, man. This will be a fun one to ride. I think when we really see the alt season come through, this is the type of coin you want to have a good bag in, because this long consolidation, it has actual fundamentals that they're trying to work with, and they push it through and get some working economics inside of it. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a good one to watch. So I'm just holding that one for a while.
I'm sticking my DRJN bag is going nowhere right now.
Which one?
My Dragon.
Yeah, you're just leaving it there? Yeah.
I'm going to keep it there. I'm going to do the same with ENJ. I mean, ENJ, technically, these are both boomer coins, right? So,
right. We know ENJ was out. It was kind of, I think it came out just at the tail end. No, right in the beginning of 2020. But it wasn't listed on anything.
Well, it was a wallet. The engine was a wallet before it was a coin. And they were around for a long, long time. You can see, I mean, they had it. I guess it was there. It wasn't really very interesting, but it was a wallet. And then they brought the ENJ coin, and I guess it looks like right around 2019, beginning of that, they maybe got some like major integrations with their wallet.
Oh, look at that volume there.
But it's also because it's a game coin. It's a gaming focused coin, and so I believe they just did some deal with Microsoft.
Oh wow! Is that you heard that somewhere? So
yeah.
Let's see here. ENJ and Microsoft cross-platform custom NFTs.
There you go. Boom.
Bring it. Look at that. Whoa, get the heck out of here. You should
post my line.
Microsoft and ENJ bringing cross-platform custom NFTs to Minecraft. What?
Big news, right?
What was this?
We missed that.
February 10th. Oh, yeah. That's with it. I mean, I think I was in there before there. I didn't even see that though. But this is that was the start, January. Here you go. Because that was the start of this just rip.
Yeah, they may have done another deal as well with somebody else.
I mean, once they start those deals, you start a deal with that.
Right.
I mean,
legitimacy.
Just hold on to this sucker right here. Because if you want to look at something fun, then you watch the whole, you do the potential, like, oh, what are we going to do here? What's our targets, right? I mean, here's your targets. Is it going to run the fibs? And it may sound ridiculous because it's already ripped up so much right now. But a lot of these altcoins, they run these fib lines once they break all-time highs, which we're right at breaking all-time highs, right? And so even from this point in time, you're looking at, the 1618, you're 124%. All the way up to 3 to 4. That's nice. And
that's the thing is, I can see Engine doing that. I made money in Engine before. I like it. It's a decent coin. Their wallet was okay. It wasn't amazing, but I don't think I have Engine wallet installed on my phone anymore. But it's been around for a while. They have, like I said, they've got great partnerships out there, and they're gaming. You look at Gala and the Gala ecosystem. Engine is their pretty much number one competitor.
Yeah, but they're different in the side of Engine isn't like a gaming company per se to where they have the talent that Gala does. Gala is like they're quietly putting together a gaming company that is going to rival a lot of these AAA companies. I mean, they're actually hiring on AAA companies to make some of their games.
Oh, I know.
I know you know.
I know.
I know you know stuff.
I play golf with somebody else as well. The thing about Engine is that they were doing this a while ago. The Engine ecosystem was available for you to integrate into your game if you wanted blockchain and cryptocurrency value transactions.
Right. So they were the blockchain, they're the blockchain for gaming.
The other side of it.
Yes.
And Gala comes from the gaming side. And I know which one I'd back, and it would be Gala every time. But I'm still going to hold on to some Engine.
Oh, I got an Engine back because I mean it's just they've got a good hold on the fundamental side on that ecosystem. It's great. You can't just have one company that's involved in these things. So, I'm in. I'm on that one. The next one, this was one you brought up too. FET, love it.
Love it.
Man, you brought it up, and I looked at the chart, and it was right around this time. It was sitting in this zone right here. You could start to see this little volume start to tick up. Yeah, we'll pull it up here. This volume around in February timeframe, and it just was looking amazing. And I was imagining seeing this same thing here. What I do like here is we don't have this giant wick that we have on here, and we have a good bounce, off this TK potential cross here again,
right?
Which is nice, and just good consolidation, double, nice big double bottom, and this is another one that's been around for a while. And you heard some information on this one that they were doing some stuff with the AI component. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a artificial intelligence infrastructural coin for blockchain technologies. And I think somebody put on the Discord what would be the 10 altcoins that you would put any money into and hold them for 5 years, and FET is definitely one of them.
Yeah,
I mean, I have FET, and that's not going anywhere either. I'm going to keep and hold that for a while.
Well, for me, those are my biggest, I would say, boomer coin, DeFi bags.
Okay, so there is one that I do want to talk about.
Ooh, what else you got? Am I buying something live? What are we going to get? Strax.
Yeah.
STRAX.
Yes. And you might not remember this because it used to be called something different. It's Stratus.
Oh,
do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember Stratus.
I made a bunch of money on Stratus way back when.
Hey, look, I got a chart on it.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Strax. Oh, that looks pretty good. Oh, yeah. No, you mentioned this in the Discord just a little bit back.
I did mention that one on the Discord.
Here, and I do like this chart.
But it is having a reasonably good little run, and I feel it has a lot more potential in it.
Well, just if we look at the cloud situation here, we've got this. The lines are getting tight. They're going to look at crossing. It's going to get up into the cloud. We get an edge trade, and then we can get above the cloud, and then we can just rock it.
Are you buying it live? Is that what's happening?
Where can I buy it at?
Where do I have my Strax?
The problem is I could probably get it off of Uniswap.
I think I've got it on Digifinex actually.
No, I don't use Digifinex anymore. That exchange it was not my favorite.
Yeah, it's not on there.
Let's see. I can't spell. STRAX. Strax ETH pair. Yep, I understand. Let's trade this bad boy. Let's see what we can do. I wonder if I can do WETH. Because I know come on. Is version 3 out?
I don't know. Normally it tells you up in the top right hand corner, doesn't it?
I know it usually does, but it's not showing me. I thought version 3 was out. I thought that was the whole deal.
Could be. I think that you raise a really interesting point of, we talk about boomer coins and we talk about, and I think the last 2 podcasts that we've recorded, boomer coins are kind of coming back.
There we go. We'll buy some Strax with WETH. I can't. Price impact's too high. It's not enough liquidity. Let's see if we can go with 1. No.
And you have to click in there and it will.
No. Still more. 0.5?
It's not changing the 2 estimated Strax balance.
Why you do this to me? Come on.
I don't know. You can buy it some other time.
Yeah, we're slowing it down. I'm going to keep it up there because I like it. I remember this chart.
Mm-hmm.
We just have this big, nice consolidation here, but the breakdown from there, obviously, gosh, stupid. There we go. So this guy here, and then came here, and you would have expected this to hold. Hopefully, it never did. Broke down from there, and then we're up in it, and hopefully gonna break. Once you break above that, that's gonna be in the cloud. So I'm gonna probably start DCAing into this because this will be another nice one. If we get a Bitcoin rip, you can see this potentially. It'll push the price down again, only because Bitcoin's rising.
Yep.
And then you kind of come back up in here, and then you get that.
Anyway, my point was that we talk about boomer coins, but I think it's the natural evolution of a project that's trying to take on so much. Obviously, we talk about the crash in 2018, but all these coins and projects are coming back, and they're coming back with legitimate business structures. And I think what's true, as an investor I want to think about is, what am I looking at that's coming out now that is going to have that same pattern 3, 4, 5 years from now? And it is all the DeFi stuff, right? It's the algos, it's the unis, it's the cake. I'll buy some cake.
Curve.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of that DeFi stuff is so new and it's so clunky, but it's so amazing.
Right.
I mean,
it's probably not going anywhere, and it's just going to get better and better and better.
Yeah.
Will it dump? I don't know. Maybe.
Probably.
There are some really unsustainable numbers out there that scare the crap out of me. But at the same time, I think the proposition is correct. And those that can grab a toehold now, and we've talked about them, Pancake.
Yeah,
See,
well,
the cutesy stuff kills
I
me.
get it, man. I get it. It's so, and that's probably why I didn't get into it too, because you look at it like Pancake Swap,
right? It's
you're
like gamifying,
you're baking
investing, and it's not
with syrup and all this other kind of junk. It's like, really, what the heck are you talking about? This is ridiculous. But this stuff isn't. This is legit. The only thing you got to watch out for when you are investing in some of these things here is this isn't long term. Like, you're not going to get 478% long term.
No.
These change all the time. And the other one is you gotta look at your impermanent loss. So some I did really well, some I lost because the coin, it's getting freshly listed somewhere. You gotta watch where it's getting listed. Is it getting listed on just the BSC, or is it getting listed on actual Binance? When it got listed on Binance, they rip up. If they're going up 100, 200%, your pool, it's getting drawn from that pool. You're losing out on that coin. So you're actually, the amount you would have made more money just holding those coins. So.
Right.
So watching kind of how they're moving and being able to kind of move in and out of those, you can make some good returns short term. Yeah, they show you the year, the APR. You're not holding that thing for a year. Maybe Cake BNB, because they're kind of going synonymous in how they're rising. That's probably the best one that you can, if you just want to let it sit, 79%, that's fine. Especially if you look at what they're doing right now. I mean, Cake and BNB, they're just ripping up. They're all-time highs. Well, I mean, Cake, you got this little wick up here, but they're reaching up, trying to find their new highs. BNB, I switched out BNB in my ETH. I had a bunch of ETH, and I switched it out to BNB. I think it was the 26th or so of February in this time zone. I posted on the Discord because, I mean, it already had a big rip up, but with the ecosystem that it's building with Binance Smart Chain, it operates very smoothly.
Yeah.
And their cost is ridiculously low. They have and so for me, that was a midterm play for me I still like ETH long term.
Right.
But in between now and June, when EP 1559 or whatever for ETH, it gets to come into play, and supposedly is going to help out all the fees for everything that's going on. BNB is my play because they're one of the ones that are going to take away.
Well, I think you said it was in price discovery mode, right? And look at that, it's an 11.2%.
Well, and this is so when I look at what I did from the 26th until now in versus ETH, because I was really playing them as a similar. they're taking the share away from ETH. So in terms of ETH, and ETH has gone up since then as well. It's up 31% compared to ETH, which is great. That's all I want to do is I want to make sure that my overall Bitcoin holdings are going up. So that's how I play the altcoin market as much as I can.
I try to do that as much as I possibly can. I get real busy doing some other stuff, and sometimes, I'm not watching it as well as I could. But ultimately, this year's been great so far, and I hope that it continues long term. For sure.
For sure.
Are you looking at CRV?
Yeah, I'm going to pull up CRV because this is one that I like. I've been in it before. I had made some money when it was back on Kraken when it kind of really dumped out.
We talked about it last time I was here, actually, with CRV.
Yes.
I like it because it's a DAO. I like
right. It. And, I mean, it's one of those ones that's going to be in the ecosystem. It's going to, a lot of people are going to use it. It's there. They have a good team. It's great. On technical side, the cloud's kind of trying to figure out which way it's going. It's consolidating a little bit, on this side here. Good buy zones. And
you see that wick at the top on that straight line right there? No, there. One? Yeah, there.
This one?
That's where I bought.
It's all right, man. I mean, you got a long ways to go. It's good.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, it'll hit all-time highs by May. Come on, right? May's going to be a weird month. I think April we see this Coinbase thing, and a lot of stuff's going to kick it off. End of April, into May, we're going to see a lot of your quarterly reports coming in, and 100K by May. That's what I've been saying on the podcast for a while. 100K by May, right?
100K by May.
And it's not just be 100K. It's probably going to be 130, 140.
I have some other expert sources that agree with you. That 100K.
I want to know who these expert sources are.
You've talked to them. You know who they are.
I love it.
I'm not going to name drop him, but the other, both of them fully believe that 100K by May is legit.
Yeah, for sure. There's so much money coming in. You can't deny it. Bitcoin's looking strong. I mean, it doesn't mean it can't, dip down from here. I mean, on the weekly, we're so far away from, the conversion line. It's it's gonna touch it at some point in time. But where's that gonna be? Is it gonna be up at 70K once it finally hits 100K, and we got to drop back down?
Well, I mean, just my knowledge is a tenth of yours, but I can see that's a bull flag. Like instantly.
It's one of my favorite trades for continuation, especially in a bull market. Sometimes you get a little bit anxious or overly excited, and people like to just really start to buy in here instead of on that first dip. I mean, these dips, if you are confident it's not the top, right? Like
right.
You should be buying these dips, whether you're a leverage trader or whether you have cash on the sides. You should just be buying these dips.
Yep.
And you can see it on a weekly turnaround right here. You could have bought at 45, right? Okay. And then, every red candle outside of that, if you're able to buy those dips, even up in here, now you're still dollar cost averaging under 60.
Right.
And by the time it rips up here, your overall, average is probably going to be 53, 54. And when we go to 100K, it's a double. So,
yeah, we had a buddy of mine from the UK join the Discord a couple of weeks ago, and he actually texted me. He was concerned about buying into Bitcoin, and he bought in and was worried about it. And I was like, it's going to go down, it's going to go up.
Yep.
But it's going up.
Yeah.
So
until we see
dollar cost average in there, buy some more when it dips, because then every single Satoshi is less expensive.
Stack them.
Yep.
Couple things I want to go over. I want because you're going to remember this is when it's time to get out. When it just gets so ridiculous. When you look up every morning and you're like, oh crap, every coin's up 100%, or Bitcoin is ripping so hard. It's mind-boggling how insane it's getting. That's when the top is near, and that's when sure, start to take some off the table.
Yep.
Right? Here's some, and then I want to show you some of these. This is a great site. Looking at Bitcoin has a couple of just nice different chart to look at, stock to flow. And, a lot of people talk about the stock to flow and how it flows. I mean, it just has this line through it, and it's been, heating up, and once we get up into this yellow green, which you would imagine is going to be up in this range, that's the 300 mark I was talking about. If it can follow that same pattern, right? So,
but I mean, the long-term play, if you're looking at this as Bitcoin being your retirement plan, I mean, that top line right there is at $1 million in 2028.
But and I am as bullish as anybody. I mean, my investments are 99% crypto.
Right.
Even my Charles Schwab account is 99% crypto. I have crypto stocks, whether it's miners or other things. It's literally tied to crypto. But I'm also not going to risk my retirement, my other things, knowing, and I trade though too. So I'm not just a holder, I'm active in this on a daily basis. So I'm a little bit more apt to be able to take some off the table. And I will take some off the table, but I'm not going to take it all off the table.
Right. And I mean, I think my point was, I was talking about the older generation that I was talking about with in Palm Springs. And, if they're taking, 10,000 and putting it into Bitcoin now, and they need it in 6 years, 8 years.
Yes, right.
It's going to outperform.
Yeah. And I've told this story. I had a family member who wanted me to help them get into Bitcoin, and so I did. And it was around 54 when we were first going up before this last little dip. And the same thing, like, should I buy it? And I'm like, yes, you should buy it, but it's going to dip again. So, you can I usually try to buy in thirds whenever I'm kind of, good buying into it. And we talked about it. He's like, okay. So he wanted to do half. So half now and half later. And so buys it, goes up to like 58-ish, 58.5, and then it starts to come down. It goes down to the 40s. And, he's texting me like, should I sell now? Should I get out? Should I get out? And I'm like, no, this is what we talked about. This is where you buy the other half. Like, this is where you put the other 50% in and you DCA into it. Like, this is great.
And then your DCA becomes 51. And
right.
Your profit point becomes 51.
Yes. And so
58.
They didn't want to do that, which I understood. I'm like, it's yours. I'm like, and I told them, I said, look, if you are uncomfortable with this, I told you from the get-go, like, I got you covered. No big deal. And no, they held on. So, and they've been riding this little sideways action. And so I'm excited for it to kind of go up again because they'll be happy.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun.
Oh,
so.
I'm sure. And, I think everybody on the Discord channel will also be very happy because they're all in there somehow, some way.
Well, you got to go soon. So I do
have to go soon. I was actually going to mention something really fast. This is a very technical issue. Is if you are holding Bitcoin on Robinhood, and you are anticipating using that Bitcoin, or it's not, you're not actually holding it, you're just exposing yourself to the actual thing.
Right.
It's worth bearing in mind that you need to pull out Bitcoin 2 days before the Coinbase listing because they will not allow you to go directly from crypto to traditional stock. They need a 2-day waiting period.
Ooh, that's good. That's good info right there.
Yeah.
So, everybody listening, make sure you prepare yourself. If you're looking to get into the IPO, which I will be playing in that IPO.
If you're looking to get into the Coinbase IPO and you are going to be using crypto assets that you have in Robinhood, they require a 2-day, what's it called, maturation or something like that.
It's how it has to. That's the traditional market. It has to settle and clear and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
On the Coinbase thing too, somebody just raised up the target from 110 to like $450 for the IPO. It's like it's literally going to be $10,000 per stock by the time it comes out. It's going to be, their numbers were insane.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it is the most viable and exciting company out there right now.
Yeah. What
a great opportunity. I think it's like buying Walt Disney in 1910.
This is an interesting one. This is the 2-year MA multiplier, and it's really kind of allowed people to pick the top and be able to get themselves out at a decent price, and knowing kind of here we go, here's the ride. You can see every time it gets into the red is the time that you need to start to pay attention. And then as it starts to cross back over in the red, you should be fully out at that point. So as you can see, we're getting close to the red. And once we get up above the red, we're going to be well above the 100K mark in that sense. And you usually have a few weeks. It's not just like a day. You have a couple of weeks of like.
I mean, each of those lines is 2 years. So
correct. So you have time. So everybody's like, oh, I'm going to get out. You don't try to pick the top. Don't try to pick the bottom. DCA in and DCA out. It's fine. You're gonna be happy with it, whichever way you go. But this is another one that's going to be fun to watch and see how that goes. Last one I want to show is this is the other one that a lot of people are saying, guess what? This is the top. This is the bearish one. I probably shouldn't have ended on this one, but so it's been ridiculously accurate on picking the exact tops. You can see the little dotted line here. Top.
Every time it crosses, there you go.
Top. And then
it is right now.
We're looking to cross. So let me see if I can zoom in here.
However, what I was going to say is actually zoom back out a little bit or go left on the chart, because that bit right there,
as it starts to get
close, it doesn't necessarily always mean it's going to cross.
And we're not they're literally together. So if we have, I mean, in the next 2 days, we get this pump up, what's it going to look like? Is it just going to be that kind of point? So, I mean, you always want to look for an actual cross. Let me, how do I zoom out on this? Oh, here we go. So if I, pan it. Where's the 2018 cross? There we go. So let's zoom in on this real quick so we can see what that looked like. And I'm going to go even closer, because if that's the top, you could see how it was together for a while in this point in time, and then it finally crossed. So you had a few days in between here where it was like trying to pick it. And again, this is just one indicator. Doesn't mean anything. A lot of indicators together can mean something.
Right.
But, like a lot of people like to say, this time is different.
Still bullish.
But is it?
I think it might be. You got Apple, Tesla, you've got big businesses. I think
it is.
It wouldn't surprise me if Buffett was that one wallet that we were talking about.
12,000.
12,000 could be.
It won't be Buffett, but it'll be somebody in there for him.
Somebody big.
Yeah. Well, man, I know you got to go.
I do.
I appreciate you being here. It was fun.
Always.
We got lots to talk about.
Let's do it again.
Maybe we should get some of those professionals, that you talk to, and we should get a group crypto podcast going.
We can talk about that because I think they're all very interested in doing.
Let's do it.
So
it'll be great. That'll be a fun one. And maybe we should do it in the evening too. We can have some drinks while we do it.
You know me.
All right, guys. Hey, take care. Have fun. And stay safe. And remember, this is not investment advice. Probably should put that in the beginning, but
you normally do. So
whatever.
we just cut it together.
Peace out.
All right. Peace.